What's good? What's good? I am back live on TikTok and pre-recording for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram TV as usual. My name is Paul Pickett. This is the Paul Pickett Podcast. Before I get into some topics, and I got a bunch of topics, I'm gonna try to get into all these topics. Before we get started, hit that click now, subscribe button in that right hand corner if you're on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, hit that follow. Facebook, hit that like. TikTok, hit that follow, and I'll follow you back as well. First, I'm going to get into last night's NBA scores. But before I do that, don't forget this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your product, your brand, or your service, check out Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. Also, if you're a dog lover, you're a cat lover, you're an animal lover, or you're an animal rights activist and you like t-shirts and hoodies with cats and dogs on them, check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. Also, for Shizzle, I got to shout out dizzlebrand.com. Just add ice, Dizzle on ice. Step into the future, do your Dizzle, dizzlebrand.com. And I just got the new bottle in right down here as well, which I'll show y'all at the end of the segment. Let's get into last night's NBA scores. Knicks beat Houston. Of course, Houston, they're on rebuild mode. So, I don't know what to say about that, Like, they don't stand a chance of winning any games. Pacers beat the Pelicans. Pelicans without Zion ain't doing much whatsoever, Also, what else we got here? We got Miami and Washington. Washington came back to win that game. They won by 3. Charlotte lost to Atlanta. I kind of figured that was going to happen. I kind of figured Trae Young was going to take LaMelo Ball, my boys, to school. Boston beat OKC. Milwaukee beat Orlando. And Minnesota beat Memphis. And Portland, let's see. Let's pull up this Portland game. Was there any more games? Oh, Utah beat Sacramento. Sacramento, they're going to have to do something, man. And, of course, Portland beat the Sixers, which Portland should have beat the Sixers because Joel Embiid's still out. Washington beat Miami. I've been saying that Washington, since the beginning of the year, looked like a real solid team on paper. And so far they are, man. So far they are. Let's go into the standings. Brooklyn Nets, leading the conference at 12-5, which, doesn't look like they need Kyrie Irving so much. They're number one in the conference, so all these people they need Kyrie Irving. I don't know about that. They're number one in the teams that they're over, like Washington Wizards ain't going to beat the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs. I don't know the Chicago Bulls are going to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Miami Heat at number 4 is the only team that stands a chance right now. And, of course, my Charlotte Hornets, if the playoffs started today, would be in the playoffs at number 6. And it's going to be up and down, you know what I'm saying, because Milwaukee's still not fully healthy. Sixers are not fully healthy. I expect Atlanta to get it going. Toronto, I think they're not fully healthy. But yeah, and Boston's going to be up and down. Cleveland, they're starting to come back down to earth. They're in the 8th seed. I knew they wasn't going to stay up to no 2nd and 3rd seed. They ain't got no superstars on Cleveland. No disrespect to Cleveland, but y'all ain't got no superstars. And in the West, you got Golden State at the top with 14-2. Phoenix is balling out 12-3. They're looking like Phoenix last year. Utah, they're at number 3. They're starting to come back down to earth again. Dallas at number 4, Denver at number 5, Clippers at number 6. And big ups to Paul George keeping the Clippers in the playoff contention without Kawhi Leonard. When Kawhi comes back, they'll be a dangerous team. And you got Portland and Memphis, and Lakers wouldn't even be in the playoffs if it started today. And let me go ahead and give you Paul's Power Picks. Right now, I'm putting Golden State's number 1. I got Phoenix at number 2. I'm putting Brooklyn at number 3. The Heat at full strength, number 4, and Chicago, number 5. That's my top 5 of Paul's Power Picks right now for the NBA. Yep. Golden State, the Suns, Brooklyn, the Bulls. Oh, my bad, the Heat, then the Bulls. Because I ain't sold on the Jazz. Mavericks, they got Luka, but that's all they got. They got to show me more. Denver's still not fully healthy. Clippers are not fully healthy. Lakers are really not fully healthy either. All right, let's get to the NFL. Of course, the Patriots waxed the Falcons, so I can't really pick that game. And it looks like Bill Belichick, like one bad year, and now he's back in the mix playoff hunt. Patriots are probably gonna make the playoffs. He definitely made the right move by going with Mac Jones over Cam. So we got Ravens and Bears. I'm going Ravens. Packers, Vikings. I'm going Packers. Colts, Bills. I'm going Bills. Browns, Lions. I'm going Browns. Panthers, Washington. I'm going Washington. They beat a Bucs team last week. They're looking kind of confident. Texas, Titans. I'm going Titans. 49ers, Jags. 49ers. Dolphins, Jets. Going Dolphins. Saints, Eagles. I'm going Saints. Bengals, Raiders. I'm going. Damn. Go Raiders. Cowboys, Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs. Cardinals, Seahawks. I'm going. See, I don't know Kyler Murray's playing. I'm going Cardinals though. Steelers, Chargers. I'm going Chargers. Giants, Bucks. I'm going Bucks. And that's Paul's picks. And right now, let's go to the standings. I'm gonna give y'all Paul's power picks for the NFL. Right now, number 1, I got. Let's see, number 1 team. Let's see. Let's go to NFC. And my power rankings, number 1, I'm going. I know everybody got the Cowboys, but I'm going Packers, number 1 for Paul's power picks. We're going Cowboys, number 2. We're going to go Cardinals, number 3. I'm going Bills, number 4. And Chiefs, number 5. That's Paul's power picks for the NFL. We got Green Bay, number 1. Dallas, number 2. Number 3, I got the Cardinals. Number 4, I got the Bills. And number 5, I got the Chiefs. And that's all I'm going to do with my Paul's Power Picks is top 5. You ain't in the top 5, ain't nothing to talk about. All right, I'm going to get a couple topics. Stephen A's take on the Nets loss to the Warriors. Really all I want to talk about is the fact that Stephen A said Kyrie Irving pretty much betrayed Kevin Durant. Yeah, it's like it's almost like you know Kyrie taught Kevin Durant to come jump off this bridge with him, and as soon as it come time to jump, Kyrie backed out. Like I understand that Kyrie has his religious beliefs, his spiritual beliefs, his cultural beliefs, whatever they may be. But you and Kevin Durant decided together to make a sacrifice to leave both of your teams and go to the Nets. And you talked Kevin Durant into going there and then you back out. I mean, like, any one of my friends talked me into, like they talked me into going somewhere. Like, it's like they talked me into going somewhere. I buy the plane ticket. And then they decide they don't want to go, so they don't buy their plane ticket. Now I'm stuck going by myself. Yeah, I'd be pretty upset, man. So I think Stephen A is a little bit right on this. Kyrie you asked Durant to make the sacrifice with you to Brooklyn, and you backed out. You're being selfish. You're not being a team player. You shouldn't ask this man to leave the Warriors in the first place. If that was the case, he could have went to the Knicks, and he'd be a hell of a lot better. Even though the Nets are number one, and they probably don't need Kyrie right now in the regular season. Come playoff time, they will. But it still feels like betrayal, like Gangstar said on the Moment of Truth album. It's betrayal, man. Kyrie Irving betrayed him, and that's that. All right, Antonio Brown accused of getting fake vaccination card. I just saw this one today. I'm not going to talk too much about it, except apparently Antonio Brown's former chef that he owes $10,000 to, so he's a disgruntled employee, came out and said that Antonio Brown asked him to try to get him some fake vaccination cards. Now, see, this is when snitching is like really not cool. Snitching is snitching. Like when you're in your feelings and stuff, so you want to snitch on somebody. Well, he wasn't successful getting Antonio Brown the vaccination cards, apparently. But he says he's seen Antonio Brown with a fake vaccination card. I just want to know, how the hell is a chef an expert on fake vaccination cards? Unless he's buying and selling fake vaccination cards, how the hell is a chef, a guy who cooks salmon and oysters and whatever the hell they got going on in there, scallops, how's a guy that cooks scallops for a living an expert on what fake vaccination cards look like? I don't even know what a real one looks like. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It's just funny to me that a disgruntled employee is snitching on somebody because he owes them money, and he supposedly was supposed to get him some vaccination cards, and he wasn't successful, but he's seen him with a vaccination card. That would imply that you're an expert at knowing what fake vaccination cards look like. You incriminated yourself, idiot. As far as I'm concerned, the chef incriminated himself because you're implying that you're an expert on what fake vaccine. And if you're not implying that, then your testimony of I seen him with a fake vaccination card holds no weight. Unless you know, you're an expert on it and you know what fake vaccination cards look like, man. So, yeah. I mean, but Antonio Brown, I wouldn't be surprised if he did try to get some. But the fact that he has one, I don't know. It just sounds like a little bit bogus for me. All right, so let me get into this basketball topic real quick. It kind of goes into a couple things I say. Well, Jay Will was talking about Steph Curry demands more attention than any basketball player ever, even Michael Jordan. And Steph Curry is the best player in the league right now. You know what? I agree with both of those statements. I'm not a big Steph Curry fan at all. And Steph Curry's from Charlotte, North Carolina. But I need to be more of a Steph Curry fan. Because I used to be a LeBron fan. And then I started to see where his views really lie. And they're really not. They're not so as good as people think, They're really really misleading, Like this whole time of him being just this great human being that cares about everybody is really bogus. LeBron only cares about some people, mainly himself and probably his family, and that's it. But, this idea that he's a save the world kind of guy, no, because he thought it was okay for a cop to sit there and watch somebody stab somebody to death. Or a cop should do nothing. Cops should do nothing and let somebody stab something to death. But Jay Will, that has nothing to do with Jay Will saying that Steph Curry is the best player in the league right now and demands the most attention. Both of those are facts. Like, Steph Curry is the best player in the league right now. There's nobody balling better than Steph Curry this year. Nobody's making more of a difference for their team. I mean, Golden State is clearly only got 2 losses because of Steph Curry demanding so much freaking attention. So Steph Curry is literally the best player in the world right now. He demands more attention than Jordan. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Jordan couldn't just drive it in on everybody all day long. He couldn't just pull up all day long. You know, he didn't like Steph Curry is the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He literally changed the game where everybody. Now it's like if you can't shoot threes, it's almost like you have nothing to offer the NBA game, according to these people. But I guess they forgot how to play basketball. There's layups and dunks and mid-range and three-pointers and all types of things. But Steph Curry is clearly the best player in the league, best player in the world right now, and clearly demands more attention than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. Let me get into, let's see, I got a couple topics. These are the ones that where people get caught in their feelings and stuff like that. First, let me get into this one where I've seen Poland police use water cannons against migrants at border. So what we do is in America is so awful and terrible. Like I don't recall us coming out there with water cannons and spraying immigrants with migrants with water cannons. And this idea that people could just a bunch of people could just walk over any country border anytime they want. No. When you fly into the country, you have to show a passport. Anytime anybody go from one country to another, you're supposed to show a passport. Look, man, I've said it a million times. I don't agree with the laws of man, but I follow them. Why? Because they have consequences. And if you're not willing to follow the laws of man, then you're going to have to pay the consequences, just like everybody else, and it could be worse. So Poland shooting people with water cannons, is that racism? Is that racist? No, it's not. It's people, it's a country preventing a large amount of people from illegally coming into their country. Every country has laws. And they all have different laws. In America, if you get caught with just get caught with marijuana, like for smoker purposes, you'll get a court citation in most places. Except Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, of course, they'll lock you up for a blunt. In Japan, they'll lock you up for 5 freaking years just for having marijuana just to smoke. We got to stop acting like every country has the same laws. Like people could just do what they want in whatever countries they want. In some places, they're probably still chopping off your hands if you steal. And if you go over there and steal and you get your hand chopped off, so be it. You got what you deserve because you didn't follow their laws. We got to stop acting like countries don't have laws. America's the only country where you could just get away with you can get away with anything, man. You can get away with stealing $1,000 worth of stuff and just walk out of the store. You can get away with cold-blooded murder. You get away with all types of stuff, man. You can get away with armed robbery. America's the most spoiled, rotten country in the planet, man. Take everything for granted. And most of the people in America don't want to follow the laws of man anyways. And that's another thing with equality. Y'all be talking about racism and equality. A part of equality is everybody has to follow the same rules. If you're not going to follow the same rules, then there is no equality. If everybody doesn't follow the same rules, there's no equality. And all the rules are set. All the laws of man are set right now. And they're set. They can be changed, but everybody has to follow them. But guess what? Everybody doesn't follow them. So this idea that if somebody goes their whole life following every law of man, and another person goes their whole life and doesn't follow one single law, man, and they deserve this same equal opportunities. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You're not even playing by the same rules. In order for there to be equality, we have to play by the same rules. And in a country taking water hoses on people is far worse than what America's done at the borders. It's far worse than just building a wall. We're trying to just build a wall, and they're using water cannons. But, you know, we're the biggest racist country on the planet, you know. Okay, so let me get into this Kaepernick thing, and I'm not even going to stay on this too long because I've talked about this before. Kaepernick compares NFL to slavery. And by the way, I canceled my Netflix just because of it, because it's complete horseshit. Maybe at one time you could probably compare the NFL to slavery when they wasn't allowing black athletes into the NFL. But the NFL was at least 50% or more African American or people of color. Maybe 60%. Damn near everybody on defense is African American. Damn near everybody on the defensive line is African American. You're going to see white dudes mainly on the offensive line. That's it. Most of the wide receivers, all the top wide receivers are African American, except for like one or two white dudes that are up there. All the top running backs are African American, except for one white dude. And he's the first running back that's white in a long time to be up there. And that's Christian McCaffrey. You know, so, you know, and if your idea of slavery is making $35 million a year or $10 million a year, $20 million a year, then everything on the planet is slavery. Every job is slavery. Everything is slavery, you know, except a self-employed person. I guess I'm the only person not enslaved because I'm self-employed. Everybody working for somebody is a slave then, if that's the case, you know. But $35 million a year, I don't know how much of a slave you're going to be. And what are people asking for reparations for slavery? Money. So let's stop it. Let's stop it. They're asking for money and land to make up for these things. But this is all I'm going to say about Kaepernick comparing NFL to the slavery. He sure did want in the NFL, back in the NFL pretty freaking bad. He sure did cry, complain, and file a lawsuit because he wanted back into the NFL very bad. Can't be too much of slavery to me. If Colin Kaepernick's going to compare the NFL to slavery, but he wanted back in the NFL so bad. Who runs back to slavery? This is what I think about Colin Kaepernick comparing the NFL to slavery and his hypocritical stance, because he was crying to get back into the NFL. So you were crying to run back to slavery. Stop it, man. If that's the case, Colin Kaepernick is the dumbest civil rights activist ever. And anybody who followed his lead is dumber than him. He cried and complained to go back to get back in the NFL, but now it's slavery. Now we got to compare it to slavery. Are you comparing it to slavery because they wouldn't let you back in? No, because that's not what your dialogue says. That is not what your dialogue says. And you know what? I don't even know if Colin Kaepernick truly believes the NFL should be compared, like he truly believes it's compared to slavery. He's reading a freaking script. But I just know Netflix will never get my money with that horse shit lie. NFL. I mean, we all want $35 million a year. All of us. Even the regular working man. All right, so let me get into this quick Kyle Rittenhouse thing. And then I'm going to get into my last topic of the day, which is a music-related topic. Of course, we saw the verdict. First of all, I want to say it's kind of hypocritical that they were shouting Black Lives Matter at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial when he didn't take no black lives. No black lives were even involved in this incident whatsoever. It was if a white person kills another white person in self-defense, it's not racially motivated. See, but that's the problem. Anytime somebody gets killed nowadays, y'all want to put racially motivated on it. So now what is it? White on white crime? Is that what it is? It's white on white crime. Because black on black crime is bullshit anyways. There's no such thing. It's just crime, period. You know, it's just like there's no white race, black race, Spanish race. There's just the human race. And then there's the animal. You know, there's the mammal race. We're mammals. There's the mammal race, the human race, the reptile race. There's the amphibian race. You know, but y'all want to break down these subgenres like it's rock and roll. You know, like it's hard rock, soft rock, indie rock, classic rock. Guess what? It's all rock and roll at the end of the day. It's all rock and roll at the end of the day. You know, we all bleed blood. Our blood is the same color. It's all red. Just because our skin color is different. Somebody's got darker skin, someone's got lighter skin. We all bleed the same color of blood. We all got the same kind of organs. Hearts, liver, kidneys. You know. Yes, we have differences, health differences, which are cultural differences. You know. But yeah, like it's kind of hypocritical. Y'all shot Black Lives Matter and no black life was taken, and then this whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, like, okay, the jury clearly saw what any person with common sense saw, that his life was in danger, and then people want to make this is people's narrative and excuse. Well, he was 17. He was too young. He shouldn't be had a gun over. First of all, if it was illegal, then he wouldn't have got off. Everything was legal. His gun was legal. He was in the state legally with it. Everything was legal. If it was illegal, he would have got off. It's like how I told my friend the other day on the phone when he was talking about somebody killing somebody when they break in your house. Like, yeah, you can only get off on self-defense if your gun is legal. If you legally acquired your gun. If you illegally acquired your gun, there's no self-defense. You're in the wrong automatically because you illegally acquired your gun. Your joint is not even legal. So, first of all, everything was legal on that. Then people's like, well, he was 17 years old. He should have a gun. You know what? That's horseshit. That's bullshit. That's just, you know what it is society is just soft. You soft the Charmin tissue. They don't want men being men no more. They don't want men acting like men. Because I remember a time when my grandfather was growing up when men had to become men at age 16. Well, my grandfather had to move out at age 16 because his parents can't afford to take care of him no more. He had to man up and go work on a farm for 3 meals a day, a roof over his head, and 0 pennies to his pocket. Now think about that. You little spoiled, rotten brats of society. Think about that. You grown-up, spoiled, rotten brats of society, little kids, spoiled, rotten brats of society. Think about that. You wouldn't last a day in my grandfather's shoes. He had to move out at 16 and work for 3 meals and a roof over his head, not a penny to his pocket. Then he went straight to the army when he turned 18 and got the first penny in his pocket. 2 years straight, not a penny to his pocket, working 8-hour shifts, probably or more, on a farm for a roof over your head and 3 meals a day. But if y'all wouldn't make it because y'all wouldn't have your cell phone, you wouldn't have your internet, your tablets, your laptops, you wouldn't have all these technological advancements. You wouldn't have your Fire Stick or your Roku or none of that. You know what I'm saying? You just have 3 meals in your belly, and a roof over your head. Not a penny in your pocket. You can't even buy a pair of shoes. That's the problem with society today. So I want to hear this Kyle Rittenhouse at 17. Well, my grandfather was a man at 16. And if the rest of y'all just little boys, then that's y'all's problem, that y'all little boys and y'all don't want to man up in society. I mean, even y'all women that want to be men, y'all women that want to be men, you need to man up. If you want to be a man, if you're a woman who wants to be a man, then you need to man up. Because that's what men do. We don't got time to cry and complain about everything in society. We don't got time to make excuses. We got to find solutions and fix the problems. But yeah, that's all they can say. Kyle Rittenhouse was 17. He shouldn't have had a gun in the first place. Because they know they can't say that, oh, this guy's pointing a gun at you while you're down on your back. Oh, you shouldn't shoot him. You should just let him shoot you first. Nobody on the planet would do that. Only a complete moron who has a gun and somebody is on their back and somebody's aiming a gun. Only a coward, a complete moron just lets them shoot them. Let somebody shoot them when they're just pointing a gun at you. And guess what? When a complete stranger who's not a cop is pointing a gun at you, your chances of getting shot are a hell of a lot more. 100% more. You know, you got one dude about to crack your head open with a skateboard and one dude pointing a gun at you, and you're supposed to not shoot them when you got a gun? Stop it. See, that's the problem with laws of man, is they don't understand the laws of nature. You know, when your life depends on it, fuck the laws of man. Screw the laws of man. The laws of nature come about when your life depends on it. When your life depends on it, it's kill or be killed. You know, kill or be killed. Survival of the fittest when your life depends on it. And his life depended on it. And yeah, maybe people could say, well, you know, he shouldn't have been there with a gun in the first place. And guess what? People shouldn't have been burning down buildings in the first place. You burn down my business, and I see you doing it. You try to burn down my business in front of me, I'm going to kill you dead as a dog. I'm going to shoot you down dead as a dog. You try to destroy my livelihood. A person's livelihood is something to die over. I'm sorry. You're talking about people paying their bills, putting a roof over their head, putting food in their belly, and if they got kids, then they got to put a roof over their kids. You trying to take the food out of, when you try to take a food out of a kid's belly, you asking for it. That's life and death situations. When you try to take the food out of somebody's kid's belly, that is life or death situations. That is justifiable. When you trying to take food out of my kid's belly, you trying to take the roof over my kid's head away from them. Yes, that is life or death. That is something worth dying for. But y'all live in this little fairy tale imaginary world, you know, where somebody is supposed to point a gun at you, you're supposed to let them shoot you, and you don't shoot back. Because if you shoot back, apparently you're a racist. No, you're a coward, a complete idiot, or a moron who might as well kill himself in the first place if you're not willing to defend your life. If you're not willing to defend your life, just shoot yourself off yourself and get it over with. Shoot yourself. Why wait for somebody to shoot you if you're not willing to defend your own life? Because I'm not going to wait for somebody to kill me. If they're pointing a gun at me, and I have a gun or a knife or even if I don't have a weapon, I'm not going to just sit there and let them pull the trigger and kill me. I am going to defend my life by any means necessary when I feel my life is threatened. And when somebody's about to crack you over the head with a skateboard, or once somebody points a gun at you, your life is threatened. Once somebody shows you the gun, once they show you the gun, your life is being threatened. Once they show you the gun, they're not cops. All cops walk up showing you the gun. But once a regular person shows you the gun, they're showing you the gun for a reason. Cops get paid to show guns. Regular people don't get paid to show guns. We don't get paid to show our guns. So yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse verdict is what it should have been. It's self-defense. And y'all can sit there and talk about, oh, he was too young. Okay, if he was too young, then why was the gun legally acquired? Why was everything legally by the book? If it wasn't legally by the book, then they would have automatically thrown away the key. But society has spoken. We're not gonna let y'all paint self-defense as cold-blooded murder. Self-defense is going to be self-defense. And even Kyle Rittenhouse, who's 17 years old, has the right to defend his life. And guess what? I don't got an AR-15. I got a 12-gauge shotgun. But, if you threaten my life, that's what I'll have to use, And this 17-year-old, stop it with this 17, he's too young narrative. Once again, my grandfather was a man at 16. If the rest of y'all ain't man at 16, then hey, that's y'all's problem. That's your little punk boys. Little punk ass kids, little boys and stuff. I don't care what color you are. White, black, Asian, Hispanic. If you're going to sit there and be like, well, he's too young. Nah, I ain't trying to hear that. Some people got to be men at earlier ages. And some of y'all ain't even men when y'all hit 18 to 21, so I ain't even trying to hear it, man. I ain't trying to hear it. All right, let me get to my last topic of the day. First of all, rest in peace to young Dolph. This topic is I make a living promoting music. And I make a living promoting a lot of hip-hop music at that. And not only do I make a living promoting hip-hop music, I have a catalog of hip-hop music of my own. And so hip-hop is something that's probably the number one thing in my life. If it wasn't for hip-hop music, me wanting to be an artist and a musician myself, be a rapper, hip-hop artist, I would be dead or in prison. Let's think about it. I had no father growing up whatsoever. My mother sold me out for another man. That's all you need to know. Early age, 5 years old. So I've been a loner, I didn't have no father figure teach me right and wrong. My grandparents, they tried, but they were only in there for the weekends most of the time. Saturdays and Sundays. Weekdays, they couldn't be there for me on the weekdays, So I didn't really have somebody constantly telling me right and wrong, helping me learn from my mistakes. I've learned from all my mistakes by myself. And I'm not making an excuse, because there's no excuses. Your life is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? But hip-hop is the reason that I'm not dead and I'm not in prison. If it wasn't for hip-hop, I'd be dead in prison. Because I couldn't just settle with working a regular 9 to 5. I mean, some of y'all could settle with that, but I can't settle with just working a regular 9 to 5. So as long as I worked, I've always known what I was working for. But see, hip-hop, as positive as it's been on my life, hip-hop is one of the most negative influences on society, period. It really is. It really is. It's yes, there was a time when there was a lot of balance. There was enough positive artists to balance out the negative artists. Nowadays, there's no balance. It's just all negativity. It's all shoot 'em up, bang, bang, gang bang, fuck bitches, do drugs, sell drugs, treat bitches like shit. All the same shit. If I had to pick the worst influences on the planet, as far as celebrities go, it has to be rappers. Rappers have to be the worst influence on the planet. Yeah, rock and roll, They did sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But they wasn't so much worried about gang banging. And that's the element that just fucks all this shit up. You know? Like when young Dolph gets shot and I see shocking news, young Dolph murdered, that's bullshit. That's horseshit. Because there's nothing shocking about this. There's nothing shocking. It didn't surprise me one bit. You know? And when my boy told me about it, he sent me the tweet and I seen the car in the parking lot. I instantly knew, like, without knowing what Young Dolph's car looked like, I instantly knew, like, yeah, this is Young Dolph. Let me give y'all a breakdown. Like, the first rapper that was murdered was in 1987. I was 8 years old. That was Scott LaRock, KRS-One's brother. 5 years later, it was Paul C. You know, then 1 year later, D-Boy Rodriguez. Stretch 1995. Tupac was killed 96. Gaddafi 96. Biggie 97. Fat Pat 98. Big L 99. Freaky Ty 99. Alright, so from 87 to 99, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rappers killed. Since 2000, I mean, it's literally been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. You get the picture. 4 times the amount of rappers have been killed since 2000. 4 times the amount. Literally, all up to the 2000s, there was 10 rappers in all of hip-hop. Or 10 people. Scott LaRock wasn't even a rapper, he was a producer. 10 people in all of hip-hop killed. Since then, this shit has went up 400%. There's nothing shocking about this whatsoever, man. Is it sad? Yes, it's sad. That this is where rap has come to, hip-hop has come to, that everybody's glorifying gangbanging and killing and shooting and murders and you know, like, I know a cat like Bobby Shmurda had to learn his lesson. Had to learn his lesson. He's not even the one to pull the trigger. And all due respect to Bobby Shmurda, who took more time so Rowdy Rebel could take less. That is a true friend, a true crime partner, and that is the true meaning of not snitching. That is the true meaning. You know, like, we do a crime together, you know, you don't snitch. Or if you do a crime and you get caught, you don't snitch on somebody to get time off. I mean, that you do the crime, you do the time, you know. But yeah, man, it's not shocking to me that Young Dolph was murdered, man. First of all, when you making the kind of money Young Dolph is, you can't be in the hood still, man. You can't still be hanging out in the hood. There's an hourglass. You know the hourglass with the sand. It's done been turned, and the sand is running out. And that's what happened. The sand ran out on Young Dolph, man, because when you got that kind of money, you're flossing that kind of jewelry, and you're driving those kind of cars, you're making that kind of money, and you're still around those kind of elements, they're going to get jealous. They're going to get greedy. You're around jealous, greedy elements all day, man. We know the streets, man, has jealous, greedy elements in it all day long, man. You know, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know, and anybody knows Fayetteville, North Carolina will tell you about Bonnie Doon. And I've lived on Bonnie Doon for about a year or so. Anybody who lived on Bonnie Doon will tell you there's jealous, greedy elements all around. There's crime every other house going on, you know, in the hood, in the streets. When you still attach yourself to that element, man, what do you expect? You don't see 50 Cent hanging in the hood, man. You don't, and 50 Cent is way more of a goon than Young Dolph. I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Boosie ain't just chilling in the projects like that all the time. Way more of a goon than Dolph. You know? And I could be wrong, man, but like, you're almost asking for it, man, when you're still in the hood with that kind of jewelry, that kind of money, that kind of car, and thinking these people aren't on hard times, greedy, jealous, and being on hard times ain't got nothing to do with greed. That's just jealousy. Greed could come from somebody who's actually getting it in the streets, and they just greedy. They want what you got, you know. But yeah, man, this is where hip hop and rap has gone to. This is why I had to defend Little Nas X, cause yeah, I don't condone Little Nas X's lifestyle, but that's his lifestyle, and I ain't gonna sit there and be a hypocrite and say Little Nas X is I can because I don't really, all I do is smoke trees. I don't really do nothing bad whatsoever. But like a cold blooded criminal rapper can't sit there and point the finger at Little Nas X for being a bad influence. Rappers are the worst influence on the planet. Hip hop today is the worst influence on the planet. Actors aren't putting out that bad influence like that. Athletes, athletes do some dumb stuff, but they're not sitting there doing the dumb stuff and then telling you, do what I do. It's cool. That's what rappers do. Rappers say all this stuff, all the dumb stuff I do is cool. But this is what hip hop's came to, man. That it's not shocking to me when some rapper gets killed. Even the overdoses. That's not shocking. That's part of the culture now. Bunch of junkies. Bunch of junkies popping pills and drinking syrup and cough syrup and codeine and bunch of junkies, man. Potheads ain't junkies. We're not junkies. We're just potheads. It's a big difference. We ain't gonna go kill somebody to get a freaking fix. Like crackheads, coke, people doing coke or heroin or meth heads. They'll kill people to get their fix. They'll rob and kill and steal. Nobody's like sticking somebody up just so they can get a dime bag of weed. And if they are, they're just a complete moron. They just doing it to do it. But rest in peace to Young Dolph. Not shocked. This is part of the culture. This is what hip hop culture is now. A bunch of young African American brothers shooting each other, man, over greed and hate and jealousy and I don't care. I could care less what the next man has. Do I look around my apartment and do I see everything I need to get through my day every day in my apartment? Do I got everything I need? Yes. Do I got enough, cleaning stuff to clean? Do I got enough detergents to do laundry? Do I got enough shampoo, soaps, toothpaste? Do I got enough things to get me by and to make my life easier, yes. Past that, everything's a want. It's just greed, jealousy. That's all it is. It's just hate, jealousy. There's only two reasons a rapper dies. Only two reasons a rapper gets killed and murdered. They did some dirt in the past and it caught up with them, and payback is a bitch. Or just plain jealousy and hate. Greed, jealousy, hate, just but that's not what this was. They wasn't robbing him. This was straight kill him. So he either killed just over jealousy or hate, or more likely, this is somebody he got in some beef with and it caught up with him. Because, like, I think he's from Memphis and it's only but so big. It's not so much bigger than Fayetteville as far as population goes. Doesn't even have 1 million people in Memphis. So, yeah. But, yeah, man, this is what the hip-hop culture's come to. Young African-American brothers shooting each other over bullshit. Really nothing, man. I mean, if somebody ain't fuck with your family, your moms or your sisters, what are we talking about here? Killing people over money, it better be millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, man. If not, it's petty, man. It's petty. Drugs, money, that's petty shit. But yeah, man, this is why I don't really love hip-hop as much as I used to. Even though it saved my life, it kept me out of prison, kept me from dying. It's not something I would glorify right now at this moment. I would rather, I'd rather push some pop artists or some R&B artist or something of that nature, or a country artist, But this is where rap has come to. This is not shocking. So anybody that put shocking news, there was nothing shocking about this. And to be honest, surprised it didn't happen sooner. I'm really surprised it didn't happen sooner, man. Because these dudes be out here, man, they be playing with fire, man. When you start making the kind of money that Young Dolph makes, you can't just be hanging out in the hood. You can if you want. But, And the place he got killed at was some homemade butter cookies. And when I told my friend about it, man, like, all due respect, man, I love me some butter cookies too, man. So homemade butter cookies, ooh, they probably banging. That was probably his go-to spot, and that's the thing. They probably knew that. They probably knew that was his go-to spot, because homemade butter cookies would sound like my go-to spot. But we don't got no homemade butter cookie joint. That sound like some Memphis. That sound like something from Memphis, and whatnot. But, yeah. Rest in peace, Young Dolph. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. This is what hip-hop culture is now. A bunch of young African-American brothers killing each other over nothing, man. King Von, just went down not too long ago. King Von, I was really growing on King Von's music. I was really growing to like King Von. King Von was looking like he was going to be like the big top gangster rapper, man, coming up, man. I prefer King Von over Lil Durk, that's for sure. King Von is a way better rapper than Lil Durk as far as I'm concerned. But King Von, it don't surprise me that King Von, an NBA YoungBoy, man, he's going to keep it up, and there's no telling what's going to happen to him, man. Like, these dudes can't, what are you going to be, a 70, 80-year-old gangster? They're all dead or in prison. There's no 70, 80-year-old gangsters walking around, man. They're all dead or in prison, man. Stop it, man. It's not worth it, man. You know, there's a thing. There's a difference between being hard and being tough. You know, there's a difference between being hard and being tough. You know, because everybody thinks they hard. They always got to try to flaunt that they hard. They got to show they hard. Person who's just tough, they only show you they tough when you try to fucking act so hard. You know, but yeah. I wish this wasn't part of the rap culture, but there's no going back now, man. It's, I mean, 400. We're up 400%. 400% from 87 to 2010 murders in rap. We're up 400%, 4 times that since then. 4 times that. You know? This is what it's come to, man. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, a.k.a. Triple P, a.k.a. the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more. Don't forget to hit that click now subscribe button in that right-hand corner. If you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, give me a follow, and I'll follow back. If you're on Instagram TV, hit that follow. You're on Facebook, hit that like. Also, don't forget my podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. You online market or promotions for your product, your brand, or your service, or your music. Check out promopalace.biz. Also, if you're a dog lover, a cat lover, and you like t-shirts and hoodies with dogs and cats on them, check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. It's NEWLITTER.com. And for Shizzle, I got to shout out one of my favorite brands, the Dizzle. Got the new bottle right here. The Dizzle brand bottle just came in. Dizzlebrand.com. Step into the future. Do your Dizzle. Dizzlebrand.com. Just add ice, Dizzle and ice. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff as well. And then on the website, there's about a dozen recipes where you can make with Dizzle at home. Or you can get your favorite bartender to make it for you at your favorite bar. Once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. TikTokers, peace, and I'm out. YouTubers, peace, and I'm out.